The Hells Angels. Maybe the name started with a movie, or a little later, with a World War II bomber squadron operating out of England. When that war was finally over, some of the old crew members returned home to Southern California, where they worked factories and steel mills by day and customized motorcycles by night. Civilian life was pretty dull after the air wars of Europe, and one way of escaping the boredom were weekend runs on those newly chopped Harleys, where the squadron's memory could live on. But first, there was some serious 4th of July racing in a dusty farm town called Hollister.
Peace, but not quiet, was restored to Hollister, California today after 36 hours of turmoil created by close to 750 visiting motorcyclists, many of them unemployed returning servicemen. Police said the motorcyclists turned the city's main street into a speed and stunt area as others roared through this little central California valley town of 4,800 people. 32 special officers were called to help the 7-man city force quell the disturbance. At least 50 persons have been injured and 38 arrests have been made. Authorities estimated the invaders numbered close to 4,000, all part of a 3-day so-called gypsy tour, flat race and hill climb motorcycle event. Trouble started late Friday when cyclists all but took over the town. A hopeful city councilman told this reporter that the caravan is expected to depart
Those
today.
few days in Hollister caught the whole country's attention. 6 years later, in 1953, Stanley Kramer made a movie about that now infamous weekend and brought the first motorcycle outlaw to Hollywood.
Now hit the road. I mean right now, get going.
We want to watch the thrilling races, Daddy.
One more cute remark and you won't be riding any sickles.
Where are you going when you leave here?
Now listen, you don't go any one special place. That's cornball style. You just go.
Oh! What you doing tonight? Hey! Hiya, sweetheart. Come on, get up there, big hero.
Movies. Like a lot of us, this is where we got our first impressions about the Hells Angels. But it wasn't until January of 1981, on a cool San Francisco night, we happened to meet a Hells Angel who'd been in the club since the early 60s. Later that evening, he told us that the Angels had been working for years on a real motorcycle movie. And this time, they were going to tell their own story, their own way.
They say the only difference between a man and a boy is his taste for good whiskey and the price of his toys. I've known all along now that I'd never fit in backyard get-togethers with their tonic and gin. 'Cause I'm an angel on the highway. Won't do nothing if I can't do it my way. I'm an angel living for today. I'll be living fast till the day that I die. Loving life and all the ladies, yeah, I'll try. Well, I'm loved by my brothers. I'm hated by some others. Criticized for everything I do and don't do. But one thing's for certain, before they pull that final curtain, I'm gonna make them all believers if it's the last thing I do. 'Cause I'm an angel on the highway. Won't do nothing if I can't do it my way. I'm an angel living for today. I'll be living fast to the day that I die.
The only thing that even comes close is possibly Greek or Roman warrior societies, which were based on honor and bravery.
I like living in an honest society, a society where I can turn around and trust whoever I'm with. And Hell's Angels is the only place I've seen it.
We live amongst our own law. We don't care about society, you know what I'm saying? We don't care about nobody but ourselves.
Ain't a man alive at one time or another was wishing he was a Hell's Angel. I don't care whether he's a lawyer, judge, preacher, or what. Somewhere along in the line, he's always wanted to be a Hell's Angel.
We discovered that this movie started with a Hell's Angel by the name of Sandy Alexander, and we went back east to meet him. But to see Sandy, who's president of the club's New York City chapter, you have to meet a Manhattan that isn't exactly skyscrapers and Park Avenue. Sandy's New York is on the edge of the Bowery, 3rd Street between 1st and 2nd Avenues. It's an old immigrant neighborhood where Sandy says a lot of working-class people still live.
Here, right, where all the countries are totally against the United States, but here are all the little people, not, you know, statuses like the presidents and the legislature and all that, which hate us, but the little people, right, all want to be Hell's Angels, and Hell's Angels are American, and Hell's Angels are our way of life, American way of life.
The first meeting that I ever went to, right, I seen this guy, Clay Wilson, that I knew, right, and he had a Hell's Angel patch on. And I says, oh, man, one of the Hell's Angels come around Santa Rosa. He says, well, we got a charter now. I told him, I said, well, why don't you take me to Mino and join the club, right? And he says, yeah, okay, sure. His early prospect just walked off, right? Yeah. And so it's like, that next week, it was like I went out and found out where he lived, and I knocked on his fucking door, right? You know, and I said, hey, here I am, take me to the meeting, you know, and he goes, you know. So we get to the fucking meeting, right? He walks in, right? Sits down at the table, pulls a fucking gun out, right? Cocks it, sticks it in this guy's face and says, you're not the president anymore. I am. Take your patch off. You know? And who are you with? Oh, yeah. I'm the mailman. Yeah. And then he goes, you can stay. You, take it off. You're all right. And he gets around to me, right? Here I am, a stranger. He's never seen me before in his life, right? And I'm standing in the fucking room and this is going on. You know what I mean? And when I look, that fucking gun looked that big. That's the meanest motherfucker I ever seen in my life. You know what I mean? I was like this. I was scared. I really was scared. And he says, who in the fuck are you and what are you doing here? And I went, I pushed myself away from the wall and I said, my name is Rick. I will join your club.
I think Hell's Angels are born. I don't think they're made. There's always one youngster in every class that is really a Hell's Angel. He's different from the rest. He's a little rowdier. He's a little more aggressive. He's a little more honest, and he's a little harder to convince. He's a little harder to cram bullshit down his throat. And as he gets older, he gets harder and harder to cram bullshit down his throat. And he comes and sees me and my friends and finds out that that's where he belongs.
I think I got out of Marines in '66, you know, I started hanging out with guys in the Bronx that rode. And I guess right out of Marines, I guess I was just ready for a brotherhood trip, you know what I'm saying? Because Marine Corps, you know, teaches about brotherhood, you know what I'm saying? They brought me down there, they moved me to Santa, I became his prospect. I prospected him for him. Alien Nomads. And the night he got shot, I was a prospect, and I went for the guy who had the gun, and I got voted the next day, you know?
Oh, I don't have much good to say about foreign sports cars. And I don't drink imported beer down at my favorite bar. Just give me a corn dog on a stick, or you can shove your caviar. Shit kicking all around American boy, that's just what I are. Just give me a Harley, let's go for a ride. You'll never see a giant piece of shit between these thighs. Give me a Harley, man will fly. What do you say? Let's ride. Just give me a Harley, let's go for a ride.
by its leadership, and that's Sonny. And his vision came true, and we spread all the way, not only from California, clear across the United States, but into, into Europe and different world. Everybody wants to be Hells Angels.
I may never get back to Oakland again. So in case I don't, I had to write this song for my friend. This song I sing is not about strings, favors or money. It's about a man that I call friend, and the whole world calls him Sonny. So ride on, Sonny, cranker, sail on the wind. They can't beat a legend. Legends are born to win. Ride on, Sonny, Lord knows I love you. Wish you well. Right into history with your name to the page. Well, the angels are my friends. You don't know a damn thing who they are. That club would ride straight into hell, long as Sonny was there, stoking the fire.
By the early 1970s, almost everyone wearing a badge had declared open season on the Hells Angels. The brothers were used to being harassed, but something else was up. It was the start of an organized campaign that 7 years later would give the club the biggest fight of its life.
October 31st, 1972. California Attorney General Evel J. Younger today issued what he called a far-reaching report on organized crime in California. While noting criminal activity ranging from Chinese street gangs to bookmaking, Younger called for vigilance against the Hells Angels, who he claimed are rapidly becoming large-scale organized crime operators. Younger also suggested that lawmen intensify their efforts to put club leader Sonny Barger behind bars.
And they got Sonny Barger, all right, on small-time drug charges that earned him a long stretch in Folsom.
They've been holding that man illegally. The judge picked out the jury. The only case in the whole United States world where the judge picked out the goddamn jury. I was there, and the judge got the most prejudiced damn thing I've ever seen in my life. Equal age.
To me, he's kind of a political prisoner. You know, it's just.
But
I mean, for what he was busted for, you could walk today without even a problem.
He's gonna do his time. He's gonna do his time on not only what they got him charged with, he's gonna do time on what everybody thinks he did. You know what I mean?
We don't really have rights, you know, and this is America, and like we believe strongly in what this country stands for, and for our beliefs in this country, we seem to get shot down for it.
As we worked on this movie, it became clear that club members stick real close together. When Richard Nixon's America threw Oakland chapter president Sonny Barger into prison, Sandy started raising money for an appeals fund. He and his fellow New York City members would host a floating concert called the Pirates Ball. The brothers had met some special people in their travels who now showed up to do their part. Jerry Garcia, Elephant's Memory, and rocker Bo Diddley. Sonny Barger wouldn't be released until 4 years later, on November 3rd, 1977.
And then you're running up the map at the Pirate Ball. Hit the Pirate Ball. Hit the Pirate Ball. You come on. It's free, man, to be out here in the water like the birds. You know, rocking on the boat. Cocaine, Billy, morphine, too. So many have a mixed spot. Oh, Lord, I'm sick of the bar. That suit bill won't do no harm. Yeah, just one shot hard. Oh, Lord, I'm sick of the bar. Take a whip on me. Everybody take a whip on me. Hey, hey, honey, take a whip on me. Take a whip on me. Everybody take a whip on me. Hey, hey, honey, take a whip on me. Tell it to me, boy, tell it to me. Drink your corn like a little cocaine bee. Oh, Lord, honey, take a whip on me. Now, cocaine's a horse is not for men that I can see, but it don't say when. Oh, Lord, honey, take a whip on me. Take a whip on me. Everybody take a whip on me. Hey, hey, honey, take a whip on me. Take a whip on me. Everybody take a whip on me. Hey, hey, honey, take a whip on me.
There's a lot of chicks that I know now that really want to get on that boat, you know, and they'll give anything, you know, but they don't know what they're in for. They raped me twice, or actually one did, really. They're not, you shouldn't be, you shouldn't mess around with them.
But this is what the Hells Angels don't do, Roz. They don't take us and put us in a mold and slam the cover on us and open up the cover and pull us out, and that's where we're going to be. They don't do that. They straighten us out. They, you know what I mean? They don't mold us like plaster, you know? They just make, we just learn from experience.
7 years I've been slapped once, and I asked for it. You know, and I know what it takes to get slapped for it, you know? So I do it. It just depends on you and how you are. Right. You know?
Just depends how
far you push it.
I've been hit one time in 4 years by my own man, but it was a good one. But I deserved it. If I didn't deserve it, then I wouldn't be here right now. But I deserve all 7 stitches.
We're sex symbols, dog, remember? No, none of them sleases, man. Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, they're all sleases, but we gotta get the nicer looking sleases. The heart, queen of the heart. Where's my fucking knife? Oh, okay, that's not my type. How you been, Kimmy? You want a fucking fight? I got a pit bull that will get you. Hey, look at my biscuit. Where'd you get that?
I'm not sorry.
Quit tugging on me now.
I know Superman's cape. I'm sorry.
This broad trying to pick me up when I march in.
You should see my mother.
How old is your mama? You got any money?
Hit you with a hammer. Yeah. You got a mean old way, I tell you. I thought she scratched you.
It's the last time she'll do it, I'll tell you that.
I hope so.
Remember one time this Mexican man threw a pass at my old lady. So I went at work, right? She worked in a factory then. So I cruises up and I goes to the job to pick her up. And then I said, she gets in the car and I pulls out my hammer. I said, okay, which fucking Mexican is it? And and she wouldn't tell me because she didn't want to get fired, right? And I said, well, I'll just fuck up any Mexican. So some fat dude, some fat Mexican comes out, I want to fuck him up. She says, no, that's a janitor. She said it was that one, you know? So I got that motherfucker, beat him with the fucking hammer. The dude was on his knees telling me about his mother and all this shit, you know? Oh, fuck your brother, man. You know, she got fired.
You know, we live like Chinese and Indian days, you know, where the women, they serve the men, you know, do everything for them, make them feel like a man, you know. That's very important. Now these days, these girls are always out in the street, and they couldn't, you know, cook anything, you know, not even boil eggs and shit, you know. Always out in the street, worried about what they look like and shit, you know. Hell's Angel woman, you know, she's really something, because if she ever left the Hell's Angel, she went with a citizen, man. Let me tell you, that citizen, it's like, you know, a gift to him that he could get, you know.
We are partying here in this Hell's Angel boat to join together this man and this woman in an organic wedding, which is a marriage that fits our way of life, as you will see by its definition.
A morganic marriage is one between a man of a high rank and a woman of a lesser rank, contracted with the stipulation that neither the wife nor any female offspring of this marriage shall ever inherit or enjoy the rank, title, or property of the husband. Into this life together, these persons come to be joined. Said to each man, Snail, will you take this woman, wedded wife, with love and respect? Well, said to each woman,
and
will you have this Hell's Angel
to be thy wedded husband, to live together in his life, honoring him, obeying him, polishing his bike, always dutifully devoting yourself to him, unquestioning his every move, for this is your honor to be his as long as you both shall be.
Do you, Kim? With these rings,
I now
organically marry you in the name of the Hell's Angels, United States of America. Let's
That's all right, Mama. That's all right with you. That's all right, Mama. Any way you do, but that's all right. That's all right. That's all right now, Mama. Any way you do. My mama told me, Papa done told me too. That gal you fooling with, she ain't no good to you, but that's all right. That's all right. That's all right now, Mama.
big sharp metal things, man, and swastikas and all that stuff, I know for sure that I don't want to fuck with that guy, man. You know what I mean?
You're absolutely right.
And that's cool because that's telling me who he is, you know what I mean? And I have the choice of I'm either going to go in there and make a fool of myself or else I'm going to be very cool. And if that's what's happening, I'll be cool, you know. But shit, is that out front or what, you know?
Are you afraid of them ever?
Sure. Sure.
Why?
Because they're scary, man. You know, they're all big, you know, and strong and good in all the violent spaces.
October 1976. In Sacramento, California law enforcement officials are continuing to alert legislators about the dangers of so-called outlaw motorcycle gangs. High on their list were the increasingly notorious Hells Angels, whose alleged involvement in organized crime and violence has made them a major target in the current statewide campaign.
That's another subject that always pops up when people start talking about the Hells Angels. Violence, the no bullshit, take care of business kind of violence. From what we've seen, the brothers don't go looking for trouble, but they do have what you might call a reputation, and it attracts more than just the law's attention. It seems that somebody always wants to test themselves against the club. Most learn real fast that they should have minded their own business.
You know, people don't realize about us is that when we fight somebody, when we get along with somebody, we hurt them. We just ain't street fighters. We're above that.
If you remember in the Cleveland situation, there were approximately 100 to 200 members of another motorcycle group called the Breed. And there are approximately 24 angels attending this show. And apparently they felt that it was, you know, machismo on their part to take on the angels and deliver them a thumping.
You know what? The feds, man, they knew it was set and brought up in court. Yeah, they knew that there was a big plan to jump Hell's Angels.
There was about 215 motherfuckers, about 25 of us.
If we were expecting, somebody coming, we would, we would have made the odds so even, would have wiped them all out. Still with 24 Hell's Angels there, right? We put 29 of them in the hospital, killed 4 of them, right? And, they killed one of our brothers, and a lot of my brothers were wounded, but you know what, they split.
And the interesting thing was that, in my opinion, although we didn't defend out there, that it seemed to me that the 10 angels that were arrested had a valid claim of self-defense here.
Well, I was right there in the first fucking rank, the first echelon, and I heard this little paranoid motherfucker say, let's go. When he said, let's go, he said, let's go, let's get the fuck out of here. Because we came in telling them, you know what, man, eat us, motherfucker, we're gonna fuck you up, fuck you faggots. At that time, something came down heavy on one of them's head, and then we just started stabbing and slapping him, you know what I mean?
Out of the 87 arrested, right, 10 were Hell's Angels, the rest were Breed, right? When the police came in there, at the time when, the police said, all right, sign the papers, right? For what reason, fighting this and that. Not one Hell's Angel, not one pressed charge against the Breed, right? And, the Breed pressed charges against us. Come here,
As the fight was breaking up, it was a priest. It was really like one of the rites. You know what I'm saying? Priest with all the black shit all over him. He was down by the guy, doing the guy the last rites. You know what I mean? That was as the mace was clearing and the cops were chasing everybody out. And at first they didn't know what was going on. All they knew was there was a big rumble. There was dead people laying all over. What happened was cops with guns were ahead and arrested us. With suspicion of they didn't know what. Of course, we was in the paddy wagon. We knew what we were supposed to,
You know what? And they killed our brother Gruber, and now one Breed was charged with this.
The officers got together after Cleveland because my old man was in jail, and they decided to send a girl down. They picked me. They told me to hitch into the city, pick up an angel, and find out what I could.
We know we're better than that club, you know what I'm saying? We know we wear our colors all the time. And we're game to meet these people at any time, you know what I mean? For any kind of sit-down wrestling match, boxing match, you know what I'm saying? Bayonet training, whatever it is.
Well, they wanted me to get Mario to come out to tell Mario I was going to move in with him and have him come out and pick me up, give him a phony address, and ambush him with a machine gun. Was their general idea, just to get one of them. They just wanted the information and to lure an angel out into a trap was another big thing. I decided I didn't want any part of that. Yeah.
fell in love. What can you do?
You know, and if other people die, I laugh about it. I mean, death amuses me. But the way I look at it, I'm bad. There ain't nobody gonna get me. I have no fool around saying they got me. You know?
September 1978. California Attorney General Evell Younger is pushing an aggressive campaign for governor based on what he points to as his long-term effort to tackle organized crime, which he says includes such primary militants as the Hells Angels and other outlaw motorcycle gangs.
This is a dedication to my bosom friends, my buddies, my brothers, or whatever. The Hells Angels. Do your thing. Baby, do your thing. Do your thing. Baby, do your thing. And if it feels good, do it. Do your thing. Do your thing. When you feel like it, do your thing. When you feel like it, oh, if it feels good, baby, do it. If you feel like you wanna make love, do it. If you feel like you wanna start the fire down above, do it. That's it. Just do your thing. If it feels good, do it. Do your thing. Do your thing. Do your thing. Do your thing. Well, if it make you feel good, yeah, do your thing. If you feel like you wanna holler to the top of your voice, do it. If you feel like you wanna separate the men from the boys, do it. Well, I make you feel good, baby, do your thing. Do your thing. I like to do my thing. He like to do his thing. I you to do your thing. Yeah, I want everybody. Do your thing.
The motorcycle run. It seems like it hasn't changed much since that 4th of July weekend in Hollister decades ago. But now the run is a club tradition that gets everybody together for destinations like Big Bear, Bass Lake, Laconia.
You remember that motherfucker, bro? That field? 68, that's where we had the first run, boy.
Where are we back to cops off down there?
Back to cops and everybody else. There's only,
Fucking state police.
there's only 20 Hells Angels there, and there was over 2,000 outlaw bike clubs invited to that run, you know. We found out who was who. You know, not by Beauregarding people, just by partying with them.
You were wrong. If you don't tell any person, they're going to shell out. I know I said that. No, it was my sentiment.
How come they can't get
Officer, that's what you said.
Paranoia is a strange trip. I've seen people that could have it together, you know, on the front scene or whatever, but when the chips got fucking deep, man, they turned to buttermilk, you know?
There's no pride and integrity. I mean, you heard about giving shelter? I mean, hey, you check that motherfucker in the he's only got 2 stab wounds in his side, and one above his ear. The one above his ear went from down here to over here.
You want to spend a little time, you know, have a beer or two.
hey, you know what? We don't want nobody fucking even considered to be a Hell's Angel that's going to turn punky or doing it. That's why we have a lot of hats with other fucking clubs and shit. That's why we pull patches. Like, a lot of people don't understand that. But why do they go tear somebody's jacket off? Because, like, somebody come by with a patch that looks similar, red on white, whatever, blah, 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 right? They ride through a town and say, wow, there's Hell's Angels right through a town. They might be fucking kicking old ladies and throwing bottles through windows, you know, something we don't do. That ain't showing class. To me, showing class is somebody fucking stand in front of a fucking gun and say, go ahead, pull the trigger, but you ain't getting this. That's showing class. It's like those people like the warlocks, you know what? They half don't even know where each other live, you know? Like, no communication whatsoever. This is for real, you know what I mean? Love for man, individually and people on a whole, you know?
All the things that you were talking about, is it all a code, man, that's all together, or is it just like...
Oh, that's right. A strong code, strongest code in the fucking world, man.
The hard times, man, you know, you don't never remember the hard times, man, because good times is so important, man.
What's a good time?
A good time is when you can look around and see your brothers having a good time.
You know they call me Nasty Bo Diddler. I'm the nastiest man in the land. They say I'm nasty, nasty. I'm a nasty son of a gun. Whoa, they call me Nasty Bo Diddler. They call me Nasty, nasty man. They call me Nasty Bo Diddler. They call me Nasty, nasty man. Now do you make the women get out of their clothes, out in the middle of dance floor? I said some of us got it, some of us ain't, some of us give, some of us ain't. Nasty, oh baby, they call me nasty, I'm a nasty man. They call me nasty, oh baby, they call me nasty, I'm a nasty man. They said, why do you make the women leave a man? Why you make the women always hold your hand? Why you make the women jump and shout? I got to tell you, baby, I tell them what it's all about. This is what it says. Nasty, oh, really. Nasty, I'm a nasty man. Nasty, oh, really.
For the sacred identity of each and every American. To protect personal freedom and to
Throughout the time we've worked on this movie, people have asked us what the Hells Angels are really like. We tell them that one thing is for sure. There are as many answers to that as there are Hells Angels.
We have a high code, morals, right, among ourselves. I mean, you know, like, and total respect for one another.
Me and another whole thing is stand up 100 people because I know that man's there. Maybe we'll get killed, but you know what? We're going down fighting.
You know what? Our man, all Hell's Angels are men. You know what? There just ain't many of that running around.
We have the true form of what America's about.
We're it as far as we're concerned.
We are the elite of the elite.
I have no trade whatsoever, except for Hell's Angels. I guess that'd be a trade.
Come on, Howard, we know you're a rough.
But I had no trade, you know, and therefore I will be in jail sooner or later, one way or another.
On June 13th, 1979, federal prosecutors in San Francisco put the final touches on their plans to nail club members on alleged violations of federal racketeering and conspiracy laws. Across the bay, the net was closing as federal, state, and local law enforcement agents, armed with riot guns and secret grand jury indictments, prepared a massive raid.
June 13th, 1979. In an early evening raid, more than 200 federal officers armed with sawed-off shotguns and automatic weapons executed a simultaneous three-state sweep of Hell's Angels and associates. The roundup, which resulted in 22 arrests, began immediately after a secret federal grand jury returned indictments charging club members and associates with violation of federal racketeering, influence, and corrupt organization laws. Among those arrested was Hell's Angels leader Ralph Sonny Barger, whose bail was immediately set at $1 million.
When this film was almost finished, we discovered that an ex-policeman was willing to discuss the RICO arrests and his former assignment to a secret government-financed biker enforcement team, BET. In a suburban Los Angeles television studio where he would attract little attention, we asked Scott Barnes about his own background and just exactly what BET was all about.
My training was originally in military intelligence for the United States Army, and then I was involved in BET, the biker enforcement team. BET was organized by the United States government. It started with the Drug Enforcement Administration and included federal treasury agents, counterintelligence FBI agents, organized crime investigators, certain district attorney office organized crime investigators, Errol Younger's OCCIB and CNIN Bureau, and it consisted of some very elite, sophisticated intelligence officers and covert operatives. We did various setups, drugs and weapons, and acts of violence against them, and firebombings, things of that nature. Various law enforcement agencies have been trying to prosecute and get to the organization for many years, and we felt that the only way to get to them now was to destroy the leadership of them and make them fall and do widespread, chaos.
They're up early in the morning with their motorcycle and making noise. One day they were going away, and they got up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and they left for about a week. And it was so quiet, like you missed them. When they came back, everybody ran over there, to greet them back, because everybody's so used to them, and they're so used to the noise, and they're joking around, they're screaming, that when they left, this block was real silent.
Then when they came back, I saw so many people, hey, that came back, everything went to normal again. I don't know, it's unbelievable. You had to see it to believe it.
Before helping anybody else, help your own. And worry about your own, because this home is first. Before anything else, home is first.
There's a lot of people that, that need us. I mean, people we look out for. People on this block right here, for instance, right there. Come on, Sal! Come on, Sal! There you go. Hey!
Get back here, Jessica!
Sergeant, he told me, how long you live with? 24 years. The head angel is bother you? It don't bother me. What your name? What your name? Juan A. Guzman. Okay, Sergeant, I'm signing my name. It's okay. He tried to get the name, the whole Spanish people over here, about the head angels, he bothered me. But nobody can sign and say something different, because the head angel, he helped the Spanish people. They help. Because somebody's gonna try to rob and call the head angel. The head angel will hit it right away.
Little tiger wants to go for a ride.
Come on.
For a ride, Bert?
Yeah. You on the bike?
Oh, he knows how to do it. Come and give it gas, bro. Let's see if he knows how to throttle it.
I'll be truthful with you. If I was Vinny's father, I think it's a bunch of screwballs. But being Vinny's father, I can't think that way. But, however, as much as they look like they around for no good, they can do more good than harm. There's no crime being committed around here, which is good.
What's that?
They demand a lot of respect. They're all on their own. know what I mean? If I was, you know, that's what I think. But I mean, I don't like to say nothing because I feel that I'm being partial because I have a son. One thing I like about him, none of them are on dope, you know.
September 1st, 1979. Workmen are putting the final touches on a Hells Angels courtroom that has been specially remodeled to seal off spectators with bulletproof plexiglass walls. Presiding over the upcoming trial will be Federal District Judge Samuel Conti, who has a reputation as a strict law and order advocate.
You know, I treat them as just big babies. You know, that's the way I treat them. And they're just, they're nice guys, but they can be a tough bunch of bastards. Don't get me wrong.
Who the hell do they think they are? Yesterday they were going like hell with fireworks. Nobody came over here to do anything.
Fireworks is going all over New York.
Well, I'm sorry.
Not only on East 30th.
They just came over the radio. It's illegal now.
It's been illegal for how many
No.
years?
No. Now it's a real arrest. This is a new one today by the mayor order. Well, I guarantee it. You ain't gonna run nothing over here, buddy, because you'll go to jail for it.
All right, everything's over with, right?
No, it's not over yet. Every goddamn time they do this.
Can't hook the music up in here.
This cup wants to be a friend of theirs. I'll stop this nonsense. Get the reporters down here.
Let's see, Inspector.
I got
Jack,
good. You look good, sir.
How's it going?
Good.
Some complaints on your festivities.
Oh, what's right? It's all like Independence Day.
This one's complaining about that the barbecue is going to be up front next to the smoke goes through his window. He's allergic to the smoke. So they're going to keep the barbecue in the back, and no more honking, and it's all over in the back.
I want to see it.
Come here.
Just come over here, sir.
Yes.
Tell this guy I'll have a heart attack, you know? Seriously. He understands an old guy, you know?
Last year, they had this thing over here again, and then over here, the smoke came in here, and then I had to call a fire alarm, and then I was laying unconscious on the floor.
And
They
smoke?
yeah. Then they had to break into my door, and I had to get 2 new locks, $50, which nobody gave me back. I have no mistake.
Flattering.
Was this?
Flattering.
You guys got a ring on, man.
So there were Irish wedding rings, like, you know, centuries
He's
ago.
over there talking to them and smoking a cigarette in his uniform. In his uniform? And on the street? This is something new? Oh, this I never heard.
Skinheads.
Yeah.
And they started in. There was a busload of people from Ulster that came down. Well, they don't do anything. They just hang around. They shave their heads, but now their hair's starting to grow. So now they wear the trousers like up like this and wear leather jackets.
Look, I'm just telling you, if something happens to me, these are the people that are responsible.
I'll make sure of that.
Now, this has got to be removed right now, this year. Understand? Otherwise, I can take that on the back.
They're going to take that down and remove it to the back. Okay, Mr. Wood.
All right.
All right, Sandy, take care.
The place was rocking so fine, a funky smell of perfume and wine. The band was cooking real good. Then I turned around to the very good. That strong man fastened his eyes. He got me singing, I was hypnotized. And when the show was done, he took my number and began to run, saying, "Don't let the dirty bitches get you down. It's only nice and it goes round and round. Don't let the dirty bitches get you down. It's only nice and it goes no, no, no."
fucking Angels! Boy, I got blisters popping all over my motherfucker.
October 4th, 1979. The federal court trial of Hell's Angels Motorcycle Club members got underway today in an arena of strict security. U.S. Attorney G. William Hunter and Assistant U.S. Attorney Robert E. Dondero have told reporters that the government will attempt to prove that the motorcycle club operates an extensive and highly profitable drug business.
The Hells Angels is an organization, a group of people that get together to ride motorcycles and have fun, go to parties and do whatever. Now, because...
It's whatever that may be the problem.
Well, what I'm just getting at is because certain people in the Hells Angels have committed crimes in the past does not make the organization a criminal organization.
We asked Barnes just how much power Bet really had.
Bet had no limits in the aspect that we had a free hand financially and intelligence-wise to do anything we wanted to with two or more people's approval, myself and let's say one other or another agent. And I felt they put into you enough that they're bad guys. We have to get rid of them at any cost. And so therefore everything's okay. And, you know, don't worry about any of the wiretappings or the drug setups or the weapon setups. So I felt that if we had to get them, we had to get them. You can hype somebody and you pump them up so much. I mean, you got to remember, a lot of the guys are using drugs. I mean, you know, you start doing a lot of crank and a lot of toot, you know, you start to lose touch with reality eventually. I mean, here's this guy supposed to be good. He's got a badge, he's got long hair and a beard, and he carries, you know, a .357 Magnum and a sawed-off shotgun. He says, hey, I have the right to take a human life. You know, I mean, the guy gets all psyched up. He sees some angel, you know, cruising down the highway, decides, let's get him. He's an angel. We're right. We're a secret little group. These don't know. My watch commander doesn't know. Nobody knows. You know, we're really secret, you know, and we're high up. So therefore, we got to keep our camaraderie, our brotherhood together, you know, and we're the ones. We're in the front lines. They're not, and they don't know about it.
The Hells Angels have quite a mixed reputation, with a lot of people seeing them as racists. We asked Sandy if this was true of the club.
Some of us are prejudiced, you know, but myself, like, I grew up with a lot of black people, you know, but I believe deeply that you judge a man by his behavior, not his color.
The new niggas of the world of the bike riders. They're getting all the tickets and all the harassment.
That's fact. We are the minority race.
Yeah.
Only blacks can realize what I'm talking about. You know, when you say a nigger is a nigger. A nigger, to me, is what people consider the lowest thing on earth. That's what people look at you as. A nigger, we'll look at a nigger. Low down, no good dog. But look at this like that. And for real, even niggers look at us like that.
If they would spend as much time and as much energy at being a plain, ordinary black as they spend time being a nigger, people would be more ready to accept them.
Get you, dog's gonna get you.
Have you ever noticed all our clubhouses are right in the darker section of town? Have you noticed that? Does that seem strange? I mean, really, you think about it. I don't know of any clubhouse in the world.
Seems as though they're unnaturally attracted to us. They start out white, and niggers just seem to flock to us.
I can't understand it. We had another clubhouse in town. They condemned it. They said, it was right smack in the middle of them. I mean, right there in it. You know, they condemned it, so we'd have to move out. We had some good times over there.
Like Oreo cookies.
I'm telling you, with a big, thick white center.
November 29th, 1979. Jurors in the ongoing Hells Angels racketeering trial today heard testimony from key prosecution witness Thomas Big Red Bryant. A former Hells Angel, Bryant has been provided immunity from prosecution himself. Defense attorneys are attempting to find out whether Bryant has been paid for his appearance at the controversial trial.
Many of them have these swastikas, SS, Geheimische Staatspolizei, and all sorts of outlandish insignia on their jacket.
This is an SS patch. It's an original one. It was a gift from a brother. And it's got a lot of bearing. It was a gift. You know, what it meant at the time, it was the elite of its corps.
No way can I see us relating to what happened in Germany during the Second World War.
You know, you say we're fascistic, we're
anti-Semitic or whatever. Well, I guess I'm the proof that we ain't. You know, because I'm Jewish, and I sure ain't a fascist, and I sure ain't anti-Semitic because I don't hate myself, you know?
You know I don't give a damn what it means as long as the brother gives it to me, I'm going to wear it.
My brother's wearing it. I said, shit power. And they had to open his patch and show me the W-I and W-H-I-T. So it's white power.
Yeah, that's where it belongs anyway.
Yeah, well, but what's that got to do with his swastika?
Don't fuck up, will you? It started a long time ago, you know what I mean?
What? Oh, yeah? Then it would say German power, wouldn't it?
No. White is right.
Watch out, here comes Wild Bill Hiccup.
Might be beautiful, but motherfucking red is way ahead, man.
I don't see why we can't all live in this society. But let's quit trying to cram each other down each other's throats and trying to make us accept things that we don't want to accept, you know?
My first reaction was, well, you know, these are potential Nazis, little fascists. But it's not true.
Show us respect, you get treated with respect. You act like an asshole, you get treated like an asshole.
As far as what my religious beliefs are Hell's Angels. That's my religion, my way of life, my profession, everything.
Won't you buy another piece of midnight? Rolling down the back top of town, starting with the wings up and in the air. To mountains that hell never climb. You go falling down the highway, falling in the
Bill was a special gift to us, man. Little Bill was a magician. He was, it seemed like he was just too pure for this world. He stood up for himself. The guy wound up fighting 3 guys who had a horn on him for him. He jumped off his bike and he fought these guys instead of running. And they got so scared behind it that they shot him in the head. Blew his head off because they just, you know, they couldn't face that this guy, they beat him down and they couldn't beat his spirit. And he was taken away from us by some slime, some fucking lowlife.
Damn Hell Angel as he was. He was gonna find a man.
was very proud man. He never lied. Shame. We lost a brother. A lot of us didn't really get to have time to get to know him. Brother for a short time. He was a Hell's Angel all his life. That's just the way he felt.
July 2nd, 1980. The federal government's year-long effort to destroy the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club collapsed today when jurors were unable to reach a verdict in the 9-month, multi-million-dollar trial. Leader Sonny Barger and other club members were acquitted of racketeering charges, but government attorneys pledged they will retry the case once again.
Looks like the case is falling apart. You know, I don't know what else to say. There's a lot of people still over there. They need to get out there. You know, it's been 14 months and they haven't proved a damn thing, and they're not gonna.
I think everybody in the jury room felt that the government witnesses were rather despicable, or beneath contempt, actually.
August 6, 1980. Charges of conspiracy against Sonny Barger and his wife Sharon were dismissed today in what prosecutors called the best interests of justice. Racketeering and conspiracy charges against 10 other defendants in the trial were also dismissed, but federal attorneys are preparing to launch yet another prosecution of the remaining club members.
Under the RICO law, the efforts of the government were to take a high-profile group such as the Hells Angels, a group that has notoriety, and use the RICO law to make bad law in the future. The RICO law, as used in this particular case, generated abuses of search warrants where the government went into homes looking for, quote, indicia, unquote, of membership in the Hells Angels.
Well, I was sitting home all alone, watching my TV, trying to think of all the places I'd rather be. So I turned off Roy Rod, I went downstairs and got my car, headed right on down to the local bar, where I had a scotch and soda, a couple of six-packs and some wine, some good old Southern comfort, and I was really feeling fine. I had a dry martini, snort of brandy that was on the house. Sat there watching all the other food get sell. I was getting 250 boogies. This voodoo man, the Bowery. 250 boogies. I ever ride with the club again. Well, I let it go my head just to see if I could see who was wearing sweet perfume and sitting next to me. Pretty lady with hair gold was giving me the eye. I had to give it to that good old college pride. But I was getting 250 boogies. All through was dynamite.
Break your neck, I know you can do it. You can do it. Well, no, fuck it. Yeah. Come on, hit. Hit.
I was invited to the Hells Angels party downtown. Then out of a clear blue sky, a fucking pirate with black hair and a black beard, spun me around, and boom! Right across the top of my head. And I fortunately survived the whole thing due to one reason. I'm an Irishman.
Later in the interview, Barnes revealed why he decided to go public and leave Bet.
I left Bet after several killings had taken place because of Bet operations, and I'd become a Christian, decided that I was going to leave, and government says make sure everything is destroyed. All your tapes, your wiretaps, the photos, everything. And they set me up in business in Northern California, and then my house went down and all the evidence they thought was destroyed, and I knew that they were after me, so therefore I decided to let the truth be known. I'd been following the trial, and they had kept me as a secret informant in the back of all their paperwork. So I came forward and brought all the evidence with me and took trial.
October 14, 1980. Under the eye of federal judge William Orrick, the second racketeering trial of Hell's Angels members got underway in San Francisco today.
The USA always had a fear that either I would come forward, one of the other agents that was deeply involved would come forward and tell the truth. The truth would be that it was a conspiracy with law enforcement agents to, in fact, use clandestine, covert, illegal means to destroy the Hell's Angels that had been caught.
January 12, 1981. Hell's Angels defense attorneys today called for the admission of testimony from ex-policeman Scott Barnes. A former undercover officer, Barnes has told lawyers and reporters that he once served on a government-organized and financed biker enforcement team.
One of the things that amazed all the attorneys who worked on the Hell's Angels trial was the government infiltration of the Hell's Angels over the years, dating back from approximately 1965, going all the way through the present day as far as we know.
You know, one of the things that's amazing about it, here are people that seem to be outlaws to our society who show a tremendous loyalty towards the government of the United States, are willing to lay down their lives in defense of the government of the United States, regardless of who's in power.
Sonny volunteered us to go to Vietnam. In 1965, wrote a letter, and it was refused, never even answered, right? We didn't have the courtesy to answer his letter. He volunteered a sick guerrilla team to go over there and take care of business. It was beautiful, yeah. And and I got told, right, that it would have made us too strong in the people's eye. That I can't understand, because you know what, we're Americans, and you know what, whatever anybody says about us, we know what's right, right? And we chose our life. We don't snivel, and all we wanted to do is show, when one of our brothers goes to jail, we don't want him, we don't forget, and you know what, and if an American goes to war, and he gets caught in a prisoner of war camp, right, we don't want nobody else to forget him either, right, because he's an American too,
This country is in such a paranoid state. Every organization, every group is so fucking afraid of every other group. You got the CIA afraid of the FBI watching the CIA. Every politician is looking at another politician. It's like, it's just about the perfect chance for communism to keep creeping into this country by breeding distrust amongst Americans. That's how they took over every other country. And if we don't get our shit together, that's what's going to happen here.
I'm just wondering if they would give up the mode of dress and riding around in motorcycles and so on, whether or not they wouldn't be respected members of the Republican Party or Conservative Party.
Probably they would.
Because their philosophy vis-a-vis what government ought to be and so on is really almost right-wing in that respect. It's not fascist. I'm not saying it's fascist.
I would say Goldwater branch of the Republican Party.
I would say that if Goldwater ran for president, I wouldn't be surprised if down deep in their heart they wouldn't support him.
I believe in this country, and it needs a lot of work. Watergate's an example, but basically, I think that this is the only system that we can exist in the world today. I'd have to support it.
2 years after that interview, Fu Griffin was released from Folsom. He got together with Hell's Angel Deacon Proudfoot to start a country and western concert promotion business named in memory of their dead brother, Charlie Magoo. Willie Nelson was a Magoo attraction before he earned superstar status, and he's been faithful to Prue and Deacon ever since.
Take back the weed, take back the cocaine, baby. Take back the pills, take back the whiskey too. Don't need it now, your love was all I was after. I'll make it now, 'cause I can get off on you. I can get by on little or nothing at all, I know. And I can get high just thinking about you. And so, you can take back the weed, take back the cocaine, baby. Take back the pills and take back the whiskey too. Don't need it now, your love was all I was after. I'll make it now, 'cause I can get off on you. Who'd ever thought this was something that I'd ever do? I'm working it out and I'm mellowing out on you. So you can take back the weed, take back the cocaine, baby. Take back the pills and take back the whiskey too. Don't need it now, your love was all I was after. I'll make it now, 'cause I can get off on you. I'll make it now, 'cause I can get off on you.
February 25th, 1981. A second conspiracy and racketeering trial against Hell's Angels members ended today after jurors reported they were hopelessly deadlocked. U.S. Attorney G. William Hunter told reporters that he would not seek a third trial after noting that the interests of justice had been served in what observers say is the longest and most expensive federal prosecution in history.
You know, it was 9-3 both times for acquittal, and it just shows that they didn't have a case. It was really lousy.
We're talking about $10 million of taxpayers' money, talking about a series of paid informers.
I think under the circumstances, we did what we thought was right, and I have no regret for having done that.
I mean, if we waited for the next rape to come up, the next scheduled rape, or the next scheduled Altamont, where we all got together and decided to go knife a nigger, just because he happened to be shooting at us, it'd be pretty boring. I mean, you'd have to be pretty patient. And we're not notoriously patient. But they either have to put up with us or kill us, because they can't ship us anywhere, nowhere else to take us. And they goddamn sure can't talk us into quitting. Shoot us or get used to it. If you decide to shoot us, you better get everybody in the first shot.
That's right. They shoot one, and they've got 10,000 shots coming back at them, so they better be ready to fight. They start trying to tell us there ain't gonna be no Hell's Angels. They better get it on.
They ain't getting my gun until they pry it out of my cold, dead fingers. I ain't taking my patch off until they take it off my body. You know what I mean?
Despite the failure of the RICO prosecutions to crush the Hells Angels, Barnes left us with the impression that some form of clandestine operation against the club would continue. We asked him just exactly what he meant.
I don't think it'll be with guns. I think it'll be with car accidents, with accidental drownings, maybe. You know, they're going to do it a more sophisticated, more in-depth intelligence. You know, let's say to find out this guy's going to be riding his chopper, you know, through this, you know, park or whatever. Find out something that's pretty solid. Set him up for an accident, you know.
That looks like a motherfucking bomb, don't it? You know, when I was in the Marines, I seen a motherfucking bomb like that. No shit, man. Like an infrared thing, you know, you aiming at people, man. Like right now, there could be some dude aiming in with us, you know, on an infrared. You never know, man. All you hear, man, is a little shot and that's it, man. Drop the smoke.
if you had not have fallen, then I would not have found you. Angel flying too close to the ground. I patched up your broken wing and hung around a while, trying to keep your spirits up and your fever down. And I knew someday that you would fly away, for love's the greatest healer to be found. So leave me if you need to, 'cause I will still remember. Angel flying too close to the ground. Fly on past the speed of sound. I'd rather see you up than see you down. So leave me if you need to, 'cause I will still remember. Angel flying too close to the ground. Leave me if you need to, 'cause I will still remember.
The greatest pleasure in life is doing what people say you cannot do and doing it with the people that you love.
I drive a mail train, mama, can't buy a thrill. I've been up all night, mama, leaning on a windowsill. If I die on top of the hill, if I don't make, you know my baby will.
when the time is coming, windows are filled with frost. I tried to tell everybody, but I could not get across. I wanna be your lover, baby. I don't wanna be your boss. Say I didn't warn you.
These are the weapons. These are the warriors. This is the final battlefield. (1990), the Bronx Warriors. They trust no one. They fear nothing. They walk with death. Those who follow them will survive. Those who challenge them will die. You will see the future. You will be afraid. The first to die will be the lucky ones. 1990, the Bronx Warriors. They walk with death.
Once, courageous knights roamed the land, searching for adventure, ready to brave any challenge. Knight riders. The knight is a fighting machine, disciplined in mind and heart, and noble to the death. Knight riders. Action. Adventure. Romance. Heraldry. Pageantry. And magic.
Magic got to do with the soul, man. Only the soul's got destiny.
Knight riders. They ride for the crown. They fight for honor.
That kid thinks I'm Evel Knievel.
That kid thinks you're William the Knight. You're his hero.
I'm not trying to be a hero. I'm fighting the dragon.
Following a dream as far as it will take them. Because a legend lives as long as someone believes.
This isn't just a roadside carny anymore. Not for some of us. It's a lot more than that. It's a whole lot more. You know that, Morgan.
You guys is the most fun I get in my life. I just don't want to see you all breaking up. You think it's breaking up? It's money, Billy. It's all to do with money. Money makes the world go around, even your world. Small-town jails is, uncomfortable places. Damn uncomfortable.
Throw down the gauntlet. Take up the challenge. A new age begins. Romance and adventure live. Knight Riders. The legend is born.